Hello everyone, and welcome to this weird little Amiga tutorial, I guess, which is going to be a bit weird because right now what you see here is my emulated Amiga, and just to get that things out of the way, let's go into utilities here and sysinfo, because just want to show you guys that when I emulate Amiga computers, I do not want them to be too fast. I want them to be, well, in this case, it's an 040, and I've tried to make it be, as close to a 040 25 megahertz computer as possible, right? Because, I could turn on JIT and all that stuff, and everything would be super, super fast, and it doesn't really feel like Amiga to me when you do that. So part of the charm with Amiga is that it's a limited computer when it comes to CPU speed, at least. So that's why I try to stay authentic. Because here's the thing: this first part is going to be on this emulator because I would want to have done this directly on my Amiga 1 X5000, but for some reason I can't capture the sound. I can capture the screen, no problems, but the sound I can't capture. I had this conundrum that I was thinking about for a couple of days, and that is that I have shitloads of Amiga modules, Pro Tracker modules, and I wanted to convert them into WAV files to then convert them into MP3s. Here are the things that you would need. So I'm going to start eyebrows now. Let's go to Aminet first, because on Aminet, and let it think. Let's see here. Search for mod to wave, and you can find there are two versions: one for Morph OS and one for classic Amigas. Now the good thing with the X5000 and I guess Morph OS as well is that they can execute 68K stuff directly. It has an emulation layer that does that really fast. Um, so download that one, and this one is a command line. So and I will show this, and then what I need you guys to do, if you want to actually, if you have hundreds of modules, which I will show on the X5000 when I don't need to actually have sound, is to go to Onyxsoft, onyxsoft.se. Here you should go to the sound first and download Code Audio, because that's a really, really good graphical user interface for a bunch of the MPEG and OGG audio encoders. It supports a bunch of them. And then you go to utilities, and you should find something called multi-ren, which is a very powerful multi-file renaming tool. But it does a lot more than that. I will tell you about it, because here's the thing. I contacted the author of Code Audio, who also wrote multi-ren. And I said, hey, I have all these modules that I need to convert to WAV files, or and I have this fantastic tool called mod to wave, but it's a command line. How can I make a batch file of this? Because I'm not a good, I don't know how to do this properly. You can probably do this with shell commands. And then he said, hey, you can use this, and he sort of wrote like an instruction thing for me, and it's like, oh, this actually works, you know. So multi-ren. So now you have the three things, and once you have downloaded those, one of the things to think about, like mod to wave, for example, it's a command. So just copy the mod to wave command to your C directory in your workbench partition, so that when you open shell, where is my shell now? There it is. So if you open shell like this and type mod to wave like that, you see that, okay, these are the instructions and so on and so forth. So, and this is where I need to have the audio, by the way, to showcase what mod to wave does. So first of all, let me switch to music here and open Hippo Player. And I'm going to add a song. I'm just going to go to my work partition, convert, and down. So here are all the modules that I will convert later on in a batch. However, for an example, you can see here that there are two files, an MP3 and the actual mod file. Okay, so let's open that one. And now when I play it, you will hear that, you know, the panning is just like the Amiga, regular Amiga panning. Two channels, very hard to the right, two channels, very hard to the left. Let's just play this one. It's not a long song, so let's play it. Okay, so two tracks. You know, in Pro Tracker we have four tracks, right? Two of them will be hard to the left, two of them will be hard to the right. And this, you know, listening to music like that in headphones is, for me, it is a bit annoying in the long run, right? At least for me, I get a bit like dizzy or something like that because everything is so hard pan like that. So now, if I use, let me just go to where I need to go. So we will convert, yeah. An example. So let's again type mod to wave. Okay, so what I need to do here is to write mod to wave, and then the input file. So this is the whole song. I want to actually, there's more things that you can do with this tool, by the way, but in this case, I just want to convert the whole module into a wave, right? So the input here is going to be mod like that, and the output, I'm going to say lack of comprehension in studio dot wave like that, and then I'm going to say rate 44 like that, because I mean 48 kilohertz. I don't really think the mods will sound that much better because everything is 8-bit anyways. So, and I hit enter to do that. So again, this is a 25 megahertz U40 processor in emulation. So it will take its time. But yeah, that's why I actually picked this song, because it's a very short one. One of the shortest I've made back in the days when I did tracking. Uh, so yeah, let's just wait this out. It's not going to take too long, because one of the things that this tool does is that it actually, first of all, it actually flips the channels. You will hear this when we compare the two. But then what it also does is it's actually do a 50% stereo merge, which, yeah, you will hear what I mean when I show this. So in preparation for this, I have already done exactly this, and then also converted that WAV file into an MP3 file. So if I go to the same folder here, you can see I already have made an MP3 file that I can play here with Amiga amp. So if I hit play now, yeah, you can see the CPU is actually struggling a little bit here. So let me stop that, and let me do this and just up the CPU power a little bit. Because yeah, let's put it to 360 here, and okay. Because this is what would happen on the real Amiga if you play MP3s like that. So now it should be better. Yeah, not as much CPU uses, but you can hear the bass drum is now on the other side. However, you can also hear if we play this one again. Okay, and now if we listen here, so as you can hear, the audio, it is on to the left, but it's not like hard pan to the left. It's more like 50% to the left. While in here, it's actually hard panned to 100% right. So that is something that Mod to Wave actually does. Yeah. So now you have heard why I want to use this mod to wave, because otherwise I would probably have to use other tools to sort of make the panning not be as harsh as it is by default. So mod to wave is actually taking care of that for me, which I think is going to save a lot of time. So the next part is going to be actually on my X5000, because Then I will actually go through how to do this if you have hundreds or even thousands of module files that you want to convert to WAV, and then later on, also once that is done, convert the WAV files into MP3 files. But that's going to be on my X5000. But what I'm going to show on the X5000, you can absolutely do that with any Amiga. It's just that it's going to take a bit of time if you don't have a PowerPC based 68K Amiga computer, the Phase 5 power up cards, where you actually have the encoders that can run on the PowerPC. It's going to take quite some time, even on a 060 50 megahertz, or even 80 megahertz or 100 megahertz. It's still going to take a lot of time compared to doing it on my X5000. But at least you now have the tools that you should use, and the rest of the stuff I'm going to show on the X5000, as I said. So see you guys in the next part. Cheers.